Hello friend, in this video we are going to see the asymptotic notations. In my previous video we have seen what is asymptotic notation. Asymptotic notation are nothing but the mathematical notations which are going to use to describe the running time of an algorithm when the input tends towards a particular value of a limiting value. We know this is the comparison between the time functions. These are the different time functions which we are going to denote using the asymptotic notation, and this is the comparison of the time function as I explained in my previous video. You can watch that video also. We have seen that there is total basically three types of asymptotic notation, that is big O notation, big omega notation and the theta notation. In this lecture we are starting with our first notation, that is big O notation. Big O notation represent upper bound of a running time of an algorithm. Upper bound of a running time of an algorithm. Thus, it gives the worst case complexity of an algorithm. If you can see to this graph, let this is the function, and the maximum running time of the function can goes up to this. Means this is the maximum coverage of time that this function will go or become g of n in worst case of time. So this will give us a upper bound. So big O notation is also called as a upper bound notation. Upper bound notation. So for a function f of n, big O of g of n is given by the relation, that is big O of g of n is a function f of n. There exist positive constant c and n0 such that f of n should be less than g of n. Here g of n is greater than f of n and f of n is less than g of n. That our definition says here. F of n should be less than, means our worst case should be the upper bound, means which gives us a upper bound, that is our worst case. This expression can be described as a function f of n belongs to the set of g of n if there exist all positive constants c that lies between the 0 and g of n, that lies between the 0 and g of n for sufficiently large number of n. For any value of n, the running time of an algorithm does not cross the time provided by the g of n. Since it gives the worst case running time algorithm, it is widely used to analyze an algorithm. So big O notation is widely used notation because we are always interested to find the worst case. So whenever there is no idea in our mind, we are maximum time counting the worst cases to count our ideas. We can frame this definition of big O in another format also. The another definition for this is definition 2 and this is definition 1. Not a large difference in between both these two. The function f of n is equal to big O of g of n if and only if, this should be if and only if, there exist all positive constants such that f of n should be less than g of n. It should be less than g of n. For all constant, that n should be greater than n0. This one will be the n0 and your n should be greater than n0. For example, f of n is equal to 2n plus 3. Now, if this is f of n, so to make it g of n in a worst case, what we have to do here, it should be less than g of n, c of g of n. means there should be a positive constant also. So as this is a linear equation, we can arrange it in a again linear. So for example this so a g of n क्या what will be the g of n? 2n plus 3 f of n. So for making is equal to, what we have to do here, it should be less than c of g of n. So let's take c, any constant you can take here, any constant I am saying 10n, what say 10n. If we can put n should be greater than 1, if we can put here n is equal to 1, so it is 5 is less than 10, so it is true. So this one is our f of n, this one is our constant, and this n is acting as a g of n. So f of n is less than or equal to g of n. Here satisfies our definition, so we can say that f of n is equal to big O of n, g. You can take any constant here. Instead of struggling what number we have to take here, what number we have to take here, you can take here 7 also, means we have to make this side maximum to this side. If we can put here 1, so what will be the number? 5. So greater number than 5, any number we can take here. For the same example, if we can take here f of n 2n plus 3 less than or equal to, here the number if we can put 1 is the 5, so we can take here 7n also. So for all n is greater than or equal to 1, so here this is our f of n, and this one will be the c, and this one will be the again g of n. So instead of struggling which number we have to take here as a c to make this side greater than this f of n, what exactly we are doing here in big O notation? Worst case time we are finding, maximum upper bound we have to find here. So in any case f of n should be less than or equal to the g of n. So this will be the another trick for all of you. Instead of struggling which number we have to take here, let's keep f of n same, that is 2n plus 3. For making this less than or equal to, make this function linear function in terms of n, like 2n plus 3n. So what will be this then? 5n. So 5n for all equal to 1. This will be 5. So 5 is greater than, 5 is less than 5n here. So this is f of n, this is c, and this is g of n. Again this is true because 5 is less than 5n. Anyhow, for any number greater than 1, you can check out here. For 2, if we put here n is equal to 2, it will be the 4 plus 3, 7 less than or equal to, this will be 4 and this will be 12. This will be the 16 and this will be the 7. So anyhow this condition will be the, as we can get g of n as a linear equation, this will be the true in this case. But if I make for this 2n plus 3 f of n, if I made like that, 2n square plus 3n square, instead of taking linearity here, I have make it quadratic. So what will be the f of n? 2n plus 3 is less than or equal to 5n square here, for all less than or equal to 1. This is again true, this will be also true. This is f of n, this is again c, and this one will be the g of n. Now in this case, for this case, What will be the time function then? Your time function will be here big O of n square. Got it? So this one with the good idea. Instead of struggling what number we have to take here, 10 or 7, you can take here 6 also. Instead of struggling it, you can make it linear also, you can make it quadratic also. If you can take linear, your time function will be the, your time function notation will be the big O of n, and for this case if you can make it quadratic, 2n square plus 3n square, your complexity will be the big O of n square in this case. Instead of n square, if you can take here n cube, it will be the also true. In that case your time function will be the big O of n cube. Basically what happening here, if you can see here, this f of n, this f of n basically belongs from this class, basically belonging from this class, means all the functions upper bound, here we are finding upper bound, so all the time function greater than this, all the time function greater than this are true. You can see here, check it out, big O of f of n is also true, big O of n square is also true, big O of n cube is also true. If you can take big O of if you can take the equation in terms of 2 raised to n, so your time function will be the big O of 2 raised to the power n, here it will be the also true. But what is important here, if all is true, why we are counting this one, why we are counting this one? Basically every time when the f of n you are counting is belonging from this class, and all the time functions upper to this are true, but every time we are not taking the things if true, we are not going to take it meaningful. We have to every time consider the closest value to this function, means closest value. If this one is the closest, our time complexity in that case is big O of log of n, means anyhow from these all upper bounds are true, but we have to consider the closest one value, and here the closest one value is the f of n to this n to this f of n, and all the value in this comparison below to the n are the lower bound value. These all are the upper bound values, and these all are the lower bound values. In lower bound also, though the time complexity for root n is also true and for the constant 1 is also true, we have to select the closest one to f of n, because this belongs to f of n category. So this is the average bound. Average bound. If you are going to get confused to the closest one value, I will give you one example to all of you. If you want to purchase a mobile from the range 12,000, above the 12,000 you can say, so if the shopkeeper show you the mobile of 20,000, that is also feasible for you, because you told him at first time you are ready to take a mobile above the 12,000, so 20,000 is also true for you, 25,000 is also true for you, 35,000 is also true for you, 95,000 is also true for you. But up to which condition 95,000 is meaningful to you? If you are ready to purchase the mobile of 12,000 rupees and above, are you going to purchase the mobile for 95,000? No. So the closest value to the 12,000 is meaningful for you. The same condition is here for the average bound. F of n is always we are considering the average bound. Every time the closest value to the f of n is meaningful for all of us. The second notation is omega notation, and omega notation represent the lower bound of the running time of an algorithm. Thus it provides the best case complexity of the algorithm. This is the running time of a function, and in a omega notation we are finding the running time lower than the running time function. Thus it provides the best case complexity of the algorithm. If you can see in the graph, this will be the running time of a function, and omega notation giving us a lower bound of the complexity of the algorithm, so it will be the best case for us. So for a function f of n is equal to omega of g of n is given by the relation, that is the function f of n is equal to omega of g of n. This will be happen if and only if there exist all positive constants such that f of n should be greater than g of n. For all positive constants greater than n should be greater than n0. The expression or the definition is described that f of n belongs to the set of g of n if there exist positive constants c. There exists positive constant c such that it lies above c of g of n for sufficiently of a large n. For any value of n, maximum time required by the algorithm is given by omega of g of n. Let's continue with the example. F of n is equal to 2n plus 3. Now if our f of n is 2n plus 3 here, it should be now how? It should be greater than c of g of n. Means we have to search here value which is less than f of n. Let's put 1 constant 1 for n here, 2n plus 3. It should be greater than 1n for all n is greater than n0. So for the value 1, this is c, this is g of n, and this is f of n. So we will say here that is f of n is equal to omega of g of n. So omega of n here. So then it will be the true. There is only one difference in between the big O notation definition and omega notation definition is that here there is a changes in this sign, and f of n is greater here, and in big O notation it is lesser. So this sign change is here, and only the sign greater and less is going to change here. Other than there is no difference in between the both two notation definition. Here we have seen the comparison of the classes, that is if this is the f of n, we have to put for lower bound this one of the time functions here. So instead of struggling, let put for the second example, if the f of n is, again we will take 2n plus 3. If 2n plus 3, how we have to make it bigger? If we take the value of g of n is log n here, so then it will be the for all n0. n0 is equal to 1 here, and here is also n0 1. So here what is g of n is? Our g of n is the log n. So we can take here time function omega of log of n. For all lower bound value it is true, but if we put the upper bound value like omega of n square, so it will be false in that case. So this will be the false. We have to take the lower bound values here. So the last and third one notation is the theta notation. The theta notation encloses the function from and above and below, since it represents the upper and the lower bound of a running time of an algorithm. It is used for analyzing the average case of an algorithm. Here you can find these are there are the three constants, that is n0 constant, c1 and c2. So the definition of the theta notation says, for a function f of n, theta of g of n is given by the relation the function f of n is equal to theta of g of n if and only if there exist all positive constants c1, c2 and n0, c1 and c2, such that c1 of g of n is less than f of n, whereas c2 of g of n is greater than f of n. Let's take an example here. F of n, take 2n plus 3 here. Now we have to find c1 here less than 5. c1 here less than 5, let's take 1. And here greater than 5, let's take 6. You can take 7, you can take 10, you can take 1000, you can take 1 lakh also greater. So now g of n term is common both sides, it should be the same in both sides, so we will take here n, so this will be now true. So here we can say that f of n, this is our f of n, this is our c2, this is our c1, and this is g of n, and this is also a g of n. G of n is same, whereas c2 is less than f of n and c1 is less than f of n and c2 is greater than c of n. So here the time function f of n, we can say that theta of, what is g of n is here n, theta of n here means as I said that this f of n belongs to this function. We do not require here at place of n any upper bound value as well as any lower bound value, neither the upper bound nor the lower bound. We require g of n here exact this. Then and then only we can say that this notation is the average bound notation. Average bound notation. I hope you theta bound notation. I hope you understand all the three notation, that is theta, omega and big O notation. Thank you all for watching the video.